Hey guys, it's Luke Great Waller here. Welcome back to the channel. In this one, we're having another discussion about Doom: The Dark Ages, and the question I have on my mind, which you probably do as well, is: does Doom: The Dark Ages really need ray tracing? Is it necessary, kind of thing? I ask this because Doom: The Dark Ages has always been atmosphere over graphics, so atmosphere first, graphics like second, kind of thing. It's always been a franchise which has been bothered about how you feel more than how it looks. Going back to the 90s and Doom, if you're as old as me, they've always worked. One thing I've always appreciated about the Doom franchise is they've always worked with what they've had. And when you played Doom back in the day, it was all about the gameplay, and they weren't bothered about how the graphics were, or even the story for that matter. It was just about get straight into the game, enjoy yourself, not too much about how it looks. And going up to modern times, with Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, I've seen those two, which are a prime example of games in the Doom franchise which look great without ray tracing. I know that ray tracing alternative with Doom Eternal, but they visually look stunning enough without it. And the thing about ray tracing is, to my understanding, is it simulates the lights and the reflections in the world, which is undeniably beautiful. It makes the game look way more undeniably better and more immersive. And I know this is like I know as the world's changing, the world of Doom has to change with it. So to keep up with the Joneses and to modernise all of our hardware capabilities and everything. So it's like a really nice rendering, isn't it? And it looks like it's a path that a lot of video games are inevitably going to have to take. A lot of games are going down this direction now after ray tracing. So my only little... It's not criticism, because I think it's a good thing, but in this point of time, I don't think it's a good thing, because I think, in my opinion, I think that ray tracing should be an option for now as an alternative to make it mandatory at this point in time. Ray tracing, it's a big ask of a lot of people, a lot of the audience, and it's a big push, and a lot of people are going to have to try and put their money where their mouth is, like myself, to get a ray tracing graphics card. I don't know if it's like a marketing strategy, because a lot of people don't really want a ray tracing graphics card at this point in time, because there's not a lot of games on the market which are mandatory for ray tracing. I know a few older games like Quake and Half-Life 2 support ray tracing, but sometimes old is gold, and it's not massively necessary. It's nice to look at, and it's really cool to see it look stunning like that, but it's old is gold, and we don't always need to remaster classic games all the time and making them look more better and things. But I know that so far at the moment on Steam, we have a lot of classics which have all of these, they'll become compatible with ray tracing and stuff now, ain't they? It's nice to look at, but we don't massively need it. And I think eventually in the future, all games are going to take that ray tracing, that path to ray tracing, which I get, because it's a sign of the times. It's just the way it is. Everything's going to have to change. I think it's just it's a big it's a big ask of people to go into RTX right now, because I myself, I'm currently in the GTX 1660 series. So yeah, I've got a 1660 GTX super graphics card. But obviously I'll have to try and get, to my expense, I will make that compromise. Not just for one game, just because we have to, but of course I'll have to make that compromise and get an RTX graphics card so I can play the Doom Dark Ages now, because we have to anyway. But it's a shame, because a lot of people which will really want to play the Dark Ages won't be able to until they can invest in getting an RTX card. And the thing about them is it's very demanding on your PC, of course, isn't it? High on demand, and not exactly cheap as well. But I think it'll be worth it in the long run. But yeah, it cuts off a lot of people that really want to play the Dark Ages, which won't have one yet, like myself. But it's just what we're going to have to do. But this is why I envy PlayStation and Xbox players at the moment, because they won't. They've got the hardware, the console, and everything needed, all the components required. They won't have to try and get a ray tracing card now. That's the only flaws about having a PC. While it's great to to modify all your components and stuff like that, you'll need certain parts in order for a game to run. But yeah, that's just what we'll have to do. But in my opinion, I think it should just be an option for now as an alternative. I don't think we're quite there yet of just suddenly everything being ray tracing. To me, from what I could see, is ray tracing really is it's more of when I seen how good Doom Eternal in 2016 ran. I know that like hardware changes very quickly, but looking at it at this point in time, I think ray tracing to me is just like another coat of paint to something that always looks great. And for a franchise like Doom, which is a very action-packed, fast-paced franchise, we're taking more note onto how the game plays and feels rather than how it looks. I guess this is the direction that the developers want to take now. And if they say it's mandatory, it is mandatory. But obviously, they want to focus on how it looks and everything. Before a game as action-packed as Doom, fast-paced, you're more interested in the gameplay and everything rather than the looks. I think the world around it is just like the perks, isn't it? But then again, seeing how the Dark Ages looks in the trailer, undeniably, it's going to be like eye candy, I imagine. You know, to have something like ray tracing and stuff in medieval hellish landscapes, and like the dungeons and all of the swamps and the forest and like all of the torches and everything is going to look really stunning. Yeah, but this is just my like quick thoughts, my opinion on the situation with the Dark Ages being mandatory. If you did not know already, there was rumours and speculation for a few months that it was going to be mandatory. They were just rumours, but sources the developers have confirmed this as of recently, and a lot of sources have mentioned it now. But your minimum requirement is a 260 RTX graphics card as a minimum requirement, and then recommended up to like 380. But yeah, they're the Steam specs. But this is more of just a pre-warning for those who weren't expecting ray tracing to be a requirement. Now you know, if you see this video, be sure to get yourself a RTX card if you want to play the Dark Ages in May, like myself. So yeah, just a pre-warning, basically. I'll quickly show you the source that I read. It said games like Indiana Jones was mandatory as well, which I didn't know. So more games are becoming mandatory now for RTX. But yeah, that's more or less what we're talking about. So this is a source that I read, and it says about it here. What do I look at it? Doom Dark Ages system requirements. So the minimum PC specs for Doom the Dark Ages have been released by id Software. The game requires a graphics card that supports hardware ray tracing, which is also a requirement for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. The game uses the id Tech 8 engine, and the specifications note 60 FPS performance, which suggests the game should run well with the recommended hardware shown below. So this is the minimum requirements and the recommended. More or less says the exact same thing on Steam. But yeah, like I say, I've shared my opinions, thoughts about it. I think it'll be a good thing in the long run. But yeah, it's a big ask to transcend to that now. But if it's something we've got to do sooner or later, isn't it? And looking at the trailer of Doom the Dark Ages, it was kind of a no-brainer that it was going to have high specs, and I knew it was going to be a high specs requirement when looking at the trailer. I just didn't think it was going to be ray tracing. I thought it was just going to be like an alternative. But yeah, that's where we're at, guys. So yeah, be sure to get yourself an RTX card if you want to play it. But anyway, that's the end of the video. If you enjoy this content, please give us a thumbs up, or a even better, subscribe, as it really helps support my content. And hit that notification bell for future reminders of upcoming content. And I see you guys looking on analytics sometimes, and it's nice to have a few people here and there that are checking out my videos. But yeah, if you're looking at the videos, take the next step. Subscribe. It'll be nice to have you guys more often. And as always, thank you for watching all my content. Really means a lot, and I hope you enjoy the videos. I'm not very good on the editing side of things. I'm always just doing recordings and uploads, but I'm more of a streamer. So if you like watching my streams, I stream Tuesday and Thursday on Twitch and on YouTube. You can also join my Discord community, Slipgate community, which is a retro FPS fan club. We chill out, play some games there, watch movies, stuff like that. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day, and I'll see you again in my next videos. Till then, see you again soon, and keep on Slipgate.